Alpha Foxtrot 4 November Yankee.
Alpha Foxtrot 4 November Yankee, is that a Roger?
Alpha Foxtrot 4 November Yankee, is that a Roger?
That's correct. Named Clayton, located in northeast Alabama.
Okay, what's the name again?
Okay, what's the name again?
Clayton, QSL.
Phonetically, please.
Phonetically, please.
Charlie Lima Alpha Yankee Tango Oscar November.
Clayton, is that a Roger?
Clayton, is that a Roger?
Yes, that's correct.
Roger, Clayton, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Clayton, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Northeast Alabama, about midway between Birmingham and Atlanta.
Alrighty, and what radio are you running today, Clayton?
Alrighty, and what radio are you running today, Clayton?
This is the 756 Pro 3, running into a Maratron AL1200, and got a fan, 40 to 80 meter fan dipole.
Roger, Roger. And what is the vintage of that radio? Is it a newer radio or an older radio?
Now, what is the vintage of that radio? Is it a newer radio or an older radio?
It's an older radio. I bought this thing back, I think, in 06, or maybe not that, maybe a little later than that. But I've had it for a few years. I just haven't operated much on it. I've been almost inactive for years.
Yes, sir. So I'm assuming that you have a fixed transmit bandwidth. You do not have an adjustable transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
You do not have an adjustable transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
TBW, transmit bandwidth, are you familiar with that?
TBW, transmit bandwidth, are you familiar with that?
Not quite, no. Like I said, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm trying to see let me see if I get the scope back up. I haven't touched this thing in quite a long time.
Well, dynamically, you look to be running about a 3 dB dynamic range in your audio, so that's just perfect. That's where we would set it. If you have onboard EQ, I would crank in about 3 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are, Roger?
About 3 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are, Roger?
Okay. Yeah, I'm still looking at this thing. I don't have any compression in right now. Let me turn the compressor on. Okay, this is now a compression. How does this sound?
Well, gosh, when you put your compressor in there, it does reshape your audio, and not very well. You get very thin audio when you put the compression in at that. I guess you have different levels, different choices, and I don't really like that when it affects your audio EQ that much, just compression. Compression, to my way of thinking, compression should just be compression, not that it should affect your EQ circumstance at all. So I would go ahead and just, you sounded beautiful without that compressor, and I wouldn't run it because it just thins you, Roger.
And I wouldn't run it because it just thins you, Roger.
Yeah, and the microphone is just the handheld that came with the radio. I haven't found anything else that's better. It sounds any better. According to people that know me, they say that this microphone does sound the best.
Yes, sir, it does sound good. It does sound good. I would crank in just a little bit. If you have an EQ page and adjustable equalization, I would crank in 3 dB more top-end EQ, 3 dB more treble EQ than where you are. Plus 3 clicks treble EQ additional from where you are, just to brighten it up just a tad, Roger.
Additional from where you are, just to brighten it up just a tad, Roger.
I understand what you're saying. I got to get the book out. Like I said, I didn't operate this radio much. I had the twins, and I ran that for years. And I bought this, and then it went inactive for quite a long time. And lately, the last 6 months, I've been putting the station back together. I got the tower up, and I had an old TH6DX antenna I put it up there. That's operating. And a little bit of that, a little bit as I go, I'll pretty well get it where I want. It'll take me a little bit.
Yes, sir. Well, hopefully we have time to do what we want to do, but we can only do what we can do when we can do it. Let's see, I was going to mention something else. The hand mic. I think you're working that hand mic to the side of your lips and talking across it. I haven't heard any plosives or anything ripping up on that microphone, so I think you're probably running that microphone to the side of your lips and talking across it, Roger?
Running that microphone to the side of your lips and talking across it, Roger?
Something like that. Okay, this is directly into it. And this is off to the side of it.
Yes, so always better off to the side of it as directly into it, because you will have less turbulence with your words going past it as opposed directly into it, particularly if that's an electret condenser a voice element in that hand mic, like so many of them are today. You definitely want to work that mic to the side of your lips, actually touch the side of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
Lips, actually touch the side of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
I do understand what you're saying. That's usually the way I do. I usually have the thing positioned about 6 to 8 inches away from and to the side. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I think your audio level is just fine. I can hear a little bit of activity in the background, but it's very low. It's not distracting at all. I can only barely perceive it. So I think you're just good to go, bud. I would get the Gorilla Tape out and tape her down. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog air check recordings. I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, and I'm copying the mail on my Georgia SDR. Roger?
In the mail on my Georgia SDR. Roger?
Okay, where in Georgia are you located?
This is, I'm not sure. It's either Simmons Island or Atlanta, right in that area. Roger?
Either Simmons Island or Atlanta, right in that area. Roger?
Okay, yeah, you're about 100 miles to the east of me.
Yes, sir. I have found that about 100 to 130 miles from the target is probably the best place to be looking for the best signal. But I usually try in the hometown of the person that I'm talking to, just by the wild chance that they might be in good proximity to the SDR on their, in their local town, and then I try to move back to about 130 miles from their location. That seems to be first bounce. Roger?
That seems to be first bounce. Roger?
Okay, gotcha. Like I said, I'm still fooling with everything. I think I got everything just about the way I want it. I'm running it. There's no balum on the fan dipole. I'm running it through an AT2K Palstar tuner, and it's pretty well. I got the SWR as long as I could get it at 7150, and that's about the way I usually operate.
Roger. Well, the thing is, what I've noticed is if you're, do you have any idea what your SWR is without your tuner?
Do you have any idea what your SWR is without tuner?
Let's say, I got 2 watts reflected.
Out of?
One second, I'll hit the CW. All right, that was 1500 with 4 watts reflected.
Wow, that's pretty good. I was just curious. Sometimes when folks have to run their antenna tuners, they can be quite lossy. I'm running now a tuned dipole antenna for transmit. I have many receiver antennas all around the country, but in transmit I stay on my tuned dipole antenna, so I don't have to run a antenna tuner on it. But earlier in my life, I was running an 80 meter antenna on 40 meters, and I was using an antenna tuner to make it work, and I did detect quite a bit of heat coming off my antenna tuner. So I know that you got to use those antenna tuners to make it work sometimes if you have large SWR because of mismatch and all that stuff. But I just decided I want all my heat to go up to the antenna as opposed to being consumed down in my antenna tuner, Roger.
Opposed to being consumed down in my antenna tuner, Roger.
Okay, gotcha. I used to run 130-foot dipole, 65 on each leg, and I went through a tuner, and I did that for years and had pretty good reception and also transmitting off of it. And I did that for quite a few years. And then I decided to build myself a ham shack, so I got in there and constructed one and got a tower because I'm not from here. I'm from further south in New Orleans, and I had the old 25 Jeep, and I'm up in my 80s now. My wife said, "No, there's no way you're going to climb, so you're going to get yourself a tower." So she got it for me, and I've been playing with it. I'm getting it back together. I got a few more things I want to do with it, and I got a 2-meter ring at about 80-something feet up. The apex on my dipole right now, my fan dipole, is about 50 to 55 feet, and they both power to a southeast direction, right?
Roger. Now, that last couple of words, I went to my local antenna up in Kentucky here, and I'm on just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, and gosh, you're sounding great there too, Roger.
So thank you for your time. I appreciate that. I got a YO100 that I've had for years. It's probably 50 years old. And I tried to go ahead and get it online to take a look at my transmitting, and it's not working properly. I'm going to have to get into it and find out what's wrong with it. It's probably just old capacitors or something that may be in that scope, and I'll have to get it out. That's one more thing that I got later. I got my 2-meter rig back on. I had to do some work on it. I just put in a computer into the shack. And like I said, slowly but surely I'm getting back together.
Yes, sir. Now remember, on that tower, if you're running a vertical polarization, you want to stay off that tower by about 2 feet. It will play with if you have a directional antenna for 2 meters or whatever, UHF, if you pull that right in next to the tower, it will affect your radiated power because you have 2 vertical planes moving side by side, and so anytime you have that, you have a distortion that will occur with the directionality of the beam antenna. So you want to keep your beams vertically. If they're vertically polarized, you want to keep them about 2 foot off the tower. And let's see. Also on your dipole, there would probably be a good idea to suspend that dipole a couple of feet off the tower so you don't have any interaction there, Roger?
Yes, I do have it pulled away from the tower. And the 2-meter rig, let's see, should be at about 80 feet. The tower is a 72-footer, and then I got 8 masts lead up there to 80 feet, and then I have the 2-meter, which there's not much activity here, so I usually don't get on that, but just in case. Tornado season and everything else, it's a good thing to have.
Yes, sir. And, you can make your tower work for you. You can make that interplay between the tower and your vertical antenna work together by putting the antenna on the side of the area that you're trying to cover. In other words, if you're trying to cover something to the north of your tower, if you put your antenna to the north of the tower, then you will be using that tower as a directional reflector. Roger?
No, it's just an omnidirectional 2-meter antenna. It is, I do not have a directional antenna. It's just omnidirectional.
Yes, so I'm just saying, if you put it on the north side of your tower will be the director or the reflector by the proximity effect of your antenna, and so you will be utilizing your tower to further increase your signal to the direction of the antenna, that it's direction that is mounted on the tower. Even though it's a non-directional antenna, it will exhibit some directionality because it will interact with the metallic tower that's in back of it. So if you want a certain area you're covering, you want to put your antenna on that side of the tower. Roger?
I understand what you're saying. Of course, I have to find a direction I would like to transmit in because, like I said, I don't have much activity around here, and the little I do have no problem. It seems to be perfect for what I use it for. So I don't think it's necessary that I look for any directivity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just saying you would be maximized by putting that's an old repeater positioning situation that you always, when you side mount a repeater antenna, you always put it on the side of the side that you want to cover, that you're offering cover to. And it just increases the capabilities of it on the side that you're. It's AOL. Let's see. I forget what the formula is now, but anyway, you just utilize the antenna on the side that you're working. Roger.
Okay, thank you for the info, and I'll take that and keep that in mind. Like I said, I got a little more work I got to do, and so I got to lower the tower and fold it over and, do all what's necessary. And not right now, because it's the Christmas season, and the wife's got all kind of plans with the kids and all. There's a couple of weeks now, so I won't be doing anything. And then usually about January, February, the weather just becomes to the point that you don't want to go outside and do anything. So it might be in the spring before I do anything. Oh, there she is. She's calling me. Got to go to the house. What's your name? I forgot.
Name here is Jim, Juliet, India Mike. Call is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. QTH is just beside Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger.
Okay, I got you, Jim. I wrote it down here, and I missed your call sign before, but you give me one more time. I want to log in.
Yes, sir. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. And if you want to hear your great audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Okay, thanks again, Jim. Let me get out there. I know we got the kids coming over tomorrow, and she's got a lot of cooking and a lot of cookies she's got to make, and I think that's what she wants me to get in there, to give her a hand. Like I said, I'm in my 80s, and she's in her late 70s, and we got to do a little bit of together to keep one from being overwhelmed. So thanks again, Jim. KC9VKV, AF4NY, 73.
Roger, Clayton, 73 there, sir, and I understand. But in my case, I'm a tester man, and many times I'll be testing more than she's fixing. Simultaneously with her fixing, I'm testing. Oh, well, anyway. 73 Clayton. Catch you later. Have a good day. This is the Qso-Vlog net for Friday afternoon. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.